Hey everyone, it's Puppyguy here. Today we're going to be going through an MMO tier list of some current and upcoming MMOs that I'm interested in. There's a lot of MMOs that I have left off this list because I, I don't really care. Uh, but there are a ton of great MMOs that are out right now. I'm just going to focus on the ones that I like, and the ones that look like they could be good when they come out. I wanted to have some kind of criteria for how I'm selecting the games and how I'm ranking them. And so the four different criteria I have is: first, is it fun? How's the gameplay and the gameplay loop? Is it not pay to win? Because that adds a lot of extra bloat to games and can outright ruin some games. Progression: how are the progression systems in terms of stat points, skill tree, or gear and armor, weapons? And then finally, community, which is really important, I think. The first game that I have here is Star Resonance. And this game is currently out. It is free to play. It is definitely pay to win, but it's fun for what it is. And I highly recommend people just like playing around with it for a little bit and doing a few dungeons. But yeah, it's got all of that monetization and pay to win and currencies and all of that stuff. So if you're really not interested in that, I would skip it, but it's been fun to play around with. The next game here is Bellatores, and that is another Korean MMO. And this one, they say, is going to likely be pay to win. They didn't outright state it, but the developers had previously made mobile games which often include pay to win elements, so I'm going to suggest that this will probably be similar to Blue Protocol Star Resonance or like Throne and Liberty, where, it's going to be fun up until a certain point, and you hit that cap of where pay to win players are doing better, and it can be frustrating at a certain point. But up until then, it's really fun. And there's obviously like typically time gating and stuff like that for being able to unlock content. I'm going to put that in the D category as well, where it might be fun for a bit, but it's likely going to have really bad monetization. I dump it after, a couple of weeks. The next game we have is Archage Chronicles. Archage Chronicles is another Korean MMO. This one, however, I'm going to put in the C tier because they say they're not going to make it pay to win. Now, we can't be sure of that, so, this can always change in the future, but currently it seems like it's not going to be pay to win. However, it is a Korean MMO that comes with upgrading your armor and weapons in ways players can find tedious. That's something to watch out for. The next one here is Chrono Odyssey. This game actually looks pretty cool just because the developers seem to be really listening to what players want. So I'm going to put this in the B tier. All of the improvements they made to the game since the original playtest and pushing it out a year, I think, is a really smart idea, and it's going to result in a better game. And they say they're not going to be doing pay to win. It is a Korean MMO, so we will see how that pans out. I'm pretty excited for Chrono Odyssey and to see what the final product is in 2026. The next game we have here, this is one that's a Korean MMO. It's Architect Land of Exiles. I believe it's going to be coming out in Korea soon. This one, they said there's not going to be pay to win. We will see. It's too early. There might be pay to win mechanics. It's probably going to be D tier for now since we don't know anything about the monetization. Let's leave it in C tier and we'll see what happens, and we can do another video in the future and adjust these based on what changes. And then we have another Korean MMO. This one is Classic Worlds MapleStory, which is a MMO that's coming out soon. It's a remake of the original classic MapleStory, and it's going to have really heavy monetization. It's going to be pretty fun to play with friends. There's tons of social elements to it, and there's tons of items that you can get off of monsters dropping that have unique and custom appearances, which I think is really important for games. This game is quite grindy, but it has a lot of longevity, and there's a lot of players that play it. So yeah, for that reason, I'm going to be putting it in the B tier. It does have a subscription, which I think will mean that I don't play it for too long. But that's okay, because if you want to play classic MapleStory, you can play ChronoStory, which is a game on MapleStory Worlds, which is the MapleStory platform that allows people to make games out of the MapleStory assets. And this is a classic version of MapleStory where it has 2 times experience rates and 2 times drop rates. And there is there's a 20 player limitation, was recently upgraded from 15 to 20. That's something that not everyone's going to like, but I find that it still plays pretty well. It's free, and the developers are constantly updating. It's a small team, 2 people, I think, and they are constantly putting out updates, and it's been really fun to engage with the community. It's a really great community. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the S tier. This is like the best game you can play right now. It doesn't have pay to win at all. There's no cash up at all at this point. Really fun gameplay, so go check it out on MapleStory Worlds. Next one we have is Final Fantasy XIV, which I love Final Fantasy XIV. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. This one was a kind of boring expansion. I found I lost interest around patch like 6.3. It's still a great game, and I'm really excited to see what comes of it in the future. And there is a subscription fee, which is a downside, I would say, but I think it's a really great game. If you haven't played it, definitely go ahead and check it out. Then we have New World Aeternum, Nighthaven, which is a Season 10 update that came out recently, and you can play this game by making a one-time purchase. From there, you can access all the content that has to offer up until a certain level. I think it's above 50, 55, something like that. And then you'll have to purchase the expansions, but there's no subscription fee, and the PvP is so much fun. There's a 3 different faction, player versus player environment where you're fighting over keeps and different checkpoints throughout the world during certain timed events. And there's also just open world PvP generally, which is really fun to engage in. I don't love how the skills you can use are determined based on the weapons you have. Other than that, it's a pretty fun game, and the setting is cool. I wish it wasn't so on the nose with the settler kind of environment. I would give New World, Aeternum, Nighthaven an A ranking because of the PvP and the fact that there's no subscription fee after you purchase. Then we also have Eterspire, and Eterspire is a free-to-play game that just got a new class, the Archer class, recently. And it's been out for a little bit. It's a PvE-only MMO, and it's available on PC and mobile, which it's not monetized at all in that way. There are cosmetics, but no pay to win, no pay for convenience as far as I'm aware. There might be some minor pay for convenience. This game is really cute, graphics kind of reminiscent of older MMOs. It's free, like I said. Playing it on the go has been really fun when I'm away from my gaming computer. So I'm going to put this in the B tier as well. And then we have Monsters and Memories. And Monsters and Memories is a new MMO coming out. It's from the EverQuest era. The game is going to have a subscription once it launches, but for now, during the playtest, it's free to play, and the next playtest is November 1st through 11th, so go ahead and sign up and get ready for Monsters Memories. The past playtests have been really fun. I haven't gotten very far, but the community is amazing. It does require a mental model of some older MMOs to really understand how the game works. For example, all of the text commands that were so common back when EverQuest and games like EverQuest came out. Some of those things take a bit of time to learn, and some of the lack of quality of life features can be frustrating at times. Generally, it creates a more immersive and more social game where you have to rely on other players in order to succeed. I'm going to put this in the A tier. The final game is Warhammer Online, and this game is a private server. It's Warhammer Online Return of Reckoning. The original game was Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning, and it closed down in 2012 or so. And this private server has been running for a long time since the official game shut down. It's got a steady player base where the game is largely playable at any hour of the day. and it's the best PvP game I've ever played. There are so many different classes, 24 different classes, and the artwork that was designed for the armor and weapons is amazing. They went so hard on these graphics, and it's really fun to progress in PvP and get experience, as well as your PvP rank, and go back day after day and continue to fight in a never-ending battle. It's also a very social game, and I found that it offers the highest return on investment in terms of being a free game that will likely be around for a long time. So I highly recommend everyone to go check this out. And this is my current ranking of all of the games that I'm currently playing and games that I'm looking forward to playing. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video and subscribe.